Hello and welcome to the last episode of the Yelling Live Show. I'm Cogliano, and before we get into the reviews of this week, I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your support. It's been so great to have this show and be doing these reviews, but I just want to kind of start to do some different stuff and turn away from this. I definitely appreciate all of you guys watching my videos and commenting on my videos and stuff like that. It's been so great to interact with you guys, and I hope that in the future I can bring you guys even cooler things. So I have two reviews for you guys this week. The first is going to be The Amazing Spider-Man, which I saw in IMAX 3D, and it was super awesome. And then after that, we're going to talk about the Oliver Stone movie Savages. So when this Spider-Man movie was announced, I was one of those people that was very skeptical about it and was very against the idea of seeing a reboot of a movie that I had loved as a kid. And as the advertisements kept rolling out, I was getting more and more intrigued, and it definitely caught my interest a little bit more than I had expected it to. And then I finally saw the movie, and it blew me away. I was really pleased by it, and I think it definitely pushes beyond the series that came out with Sam Raimi. I was really impressed how Mark Webb, the director of 500 Days of Summer, which is a movie I really like, was able to just take on this big spectacle of a movie and do so well and make it so realistic. So it's really hard not to compare this movie to the Sam Raimi movies, and they do feel very similar at times, but that's only because it's the same story, and I mean, you can't really avoid that. So if you look at it differently and you look at them separately like that, I definitely think this one stands out a lot more, and I think the performances are a lot stronger in this movie. So Andrew Garfield is the new Spider-Man, and I thought he was a great choice for this movie. He hasn't been in too much that I've seen. He was definitely able to take on this character and make him funny and make him relatable, and he just really knew how to make this character work. And I thought his portrayal was very fitting for the story that they were going with in this movie. And Emma Stone plays Gwen Stacy, the love interest in this movie. And she is the girlfriend that Peter Parker has before Mary Jane. And some people might not know that, but that's how it starts out in the comics. And that was something that I didn't really know until a while ago. So it was interesting to see that they were kind of taking that into account and trying to work with that instead of making it even more similar to the Sam Raimi movies. Emma Stone is fantastic in this movie. She's probably the best character in the film, and I just loved her scenes and all of the stuff that she was in, and the chemistry between her and Andrew Garfield was great, and I really hope that they can continue more of that in the sequels. Another really cool thing about this movie that they didn't have in the Sam Raimi movies was the whole transition of how Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man, and the process that he goes through with like making his suit and actually designing the web shooters, because he actually did that in the comics, and in the Sam Raimi's I know that like it was all organic, but it was cool to see all that stuff, and it kind of brought you closer to the character. So the villain of this movie is the Lizard, played by Rhys Ifans, and it just looked really ridiculous. I didn't really get too invested in the story behind that character, and it just did not help that the CG was so bad, and it just made everything look ridiculous. So I would have hoped that there would have been something a little bit cooler and something a little more closer to the comics or something like that to make it look, I don't know, just a little bit more believable. But it's too bad that it did not work out, and that really just kind of held the movie back a little bit. This movie is visually stunning. I saw it in IMAX 3D, and that is something that you must go see this in, because the visuals are just outstanding, and whenever Spider-Man is swinging around and doing all that crazy stuff in all his action scenes and things like that, it's just so cool. And I know we've seen stuff like that in the Sam Raimi movies, but it's really cool to see in this movie. And I think they did a great job with some of the practical stuff as well, and it was just really cool to see Spider-Man swinging around in New York City. One thing that didn't really work out, though, was the point of view shots. where they had something kind of look like you were swinging along as Spider-Man or something like that, and it just didn't really work out. They didn't have it too much, and I think if they had cut it entirely, it would have worked out a lot better. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and the cameo from Stan Lee, the creator of all Marvel comics and such, was so funny, and if you see the movie, definitely look out for it. It takes place in a high school, and it's probably the best cameo he's ever done, and I was laughing in stitches, and it was just a really great thing to see him in that. So definitely go check this movie out. See it in IMAX 3D. It's really cool, really fun time, and it'll definitely be worth the money. Savages is the newest Oliver Stone movie based off a book with the same title, and it stars Taylor Kitsch, Aaron Johnson, and Blake Lively. And in this movie, Blake Lively is kidnapped, and Aaron Johnson and Taylor Kitsch have to save her from a Mexican cartel. So overall, the story seemed pretty dumbed down and kind of predictable, and I was pretty disappointed to see that in an Oliver Stone movie, because I know he has a lot of great movies under his belt, and I would have expected a lot more from him. I don't think any of the actors did a particularly great job. I would say the two standout performances would be Benicio del Toro, because he was just fantastic in this movie, and I am a really big fan of his movies and all of his work, so I was definitely pleased to see him doing a great job in this movie. And then also John Travolta, who plays a DEA agent, and who's not in it too much, but does a good job with what he had in this movie. Something that was really good in this movie was actually all of the action scenes and the torture scenes, especially. A lot of them were really over the top and very brutal and savage, if you want to go there. So it was really cool to see them really not hold back and definitely take it to the next level. Something that didn't really work out was the narration in this movie. Blake Lively narrates as her character in this film, and it just was very kind of weird, and it didn't really work out, and I was kind of not enjoying hearing her throughout the movie, and I wish they kind of left that out entirely. One weird thing about this movie is that they say the title of the film a lot, and I get kind of pissed off whenever they have people saying the title over and over and over again, and they said it at least like 10 times in this movie, so that was just something that was kind of weird and I didn't really like about it. And the last thing about this movie is the ending. Oh my god. So they have basically this big action sequence at the end, and then boom, you think it's going to end, and then they rewind everything, and then play it out again. So it was just so weird, because it was very unexpected, and then it also felt like a cop-out. It was very cheap, and it seemed like it seemed just like an excuse to have a really big action sequence at the end, and it was just very, very disappointing, and I wish they hadn't done that, and I wish that they had they'd try to wrap it up a little bit differently, because it just felt really cheap, and it kind of felt like a slap in the face to the audience. So that's the last thing I have to say. If you liked this video, which I hope you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and like it down below. And while you're down there, clicking the like button, you can check out links for trailers for both these movies, a link to last week's episode, and then also a link for a music video that I made for the band Orange. So I will not have any more movie reviews coming on this channel, but hopefully I will have some new videos being posted here in the future. And it's been a great time interacting with you guys in the YouTube community and making these reviews and stuff like that. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed these while they were going, and I can't believe we made 50 of them, so it's been a great time. And once again, thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. And that's it.